this video, I'm going to be going over the Reproduction Cloud City playset. I came across this on eBay. Now, the main reason I actually do these videos is because, number one, I am actually very curious myself on what these reproduction items out there look like and how the details are on them, because some of these things that are remade can actually look pretty accurate to the real thing, but there are still small details that make it stand out to show that it's reproduction. The other reason I collect a lot of the reproduction stuff is because I kind of use them just to fill in for certain things until I can come across the real item. So if something doesn't have its weapon or whatever it is, I will eventually swap it out. So you could always just use it to fill in until you get the real item. Now, the third thing a lot of people try to do is take that reproduction item and try to pass it off as a real item of the toy line, but that doesn't really work out very well because people do know the difference, and you will never have respect from anybody if you try to do that. So I would suggest not to do that because, yeah, money is money, but you're not going to make money by being dishonest. So, yeah, we love honesty here in this community. Now, I came across this playset off of eBay, so I was very curious to get it because I have a real Cloud City playset, and I want to see if there's any differences compared to this one that is on eBay. Now, price-wise, if you don't want to get the real one and you're kind of waiting and you want to save money, because, for example, this Cloud City playset here, if you want to get the original one, depending on the condition, it's a few $100s. And if you get it with the box and it's in great shape, it could go for more. So, it all depends on the condition. Ewok M and I came across a real one and we ended up getting it. It's not in the best shape, but it was only like 200 bucks. So, honestly, we were happy, so we took it. This being $30, that doesn't really hurt your pocket there if you want to get this and you don't have the real one. So you could use this to, fill it in for your action figures until you come across the real one. Here's the note that I got from them. Now, the seller actually gives you a note with this playset here, and I'm going to read it to you guys. Assembly notes. Always use a straight edge to make the folds in the cardboard. We used to pre-fold the pieces, but got a lot of complaints. Okay, I can understand that. We feel collectors enjoy the brand new experience better if they fold these playsets themselves. Which, yeah, I mean, I want to get that feeling of when I first got it back in the day, which I wasn't around then, but, hey, if I was, then that's the feeling, you're putting it together. So that's pretty cool. I also recommend using glue or double-sided tape on the tabs to hold them in place, since the cardboard we use is thicker and more durable than the thin cardboard used in the original playset. Now that's interesting. So the cardboard here is a lot thicker. Now, just like the card backs, they are a little bit more thicker than the original card backs. So there is one of your giveaways right there, guys. This item has been applied with UV resin clear coat to keep the sun from fading as much as the original did. Okay, that's pretty neat. So there's like a little protection on here so the sun doesn't damage it. Now, some of those original playsets do have some damages, but that's what makes it vintage, and I think it gives it character. So that's me personally. I think it looks really cool that way. I don't really care if I have a vintage item that's all completed and it's real and it's a little messed up. I mean, come on. It's vintage, guys. So at the end here, it says, enjoy the playset. Jenner Custom Toys on eBay, also YouTube. Bruce. All right, Bruce. Well, I'll definitely have to check out YouTube there because I didn't even know that. Saw you guys on eBay. Now, they do have a couple of other things that they have on eBay. It's not just the Cloud City playset here, but this is just one of the things I got from them and want to show you guys. Let's get rid of the note here, and let's go over what we have here. They give you 3 things whenever you get this, and one of them is the instruction sheet here. So you got the instructions here. It even has stuff on the back here. Well, you got the famous Ugnaught in there and the Stormtrooper. So this goes right onto the other piece here. And here is the other piece. So I mean, look at the details, guys. That's pretty cool. Now, it does feel pretty thick. It is pretty thick. It does feel thick. So it definitely feels thicker than the original one, like they said. But we'll put them right next to each other, and we will review both and go over the details of both of these and see if there's any differences as far as the printing here on this cardboard. But as far as I can tell, it looks pretty freaking cool, man. I'm going to set this up and I'm going to grab my real one out the room and we're going to do a side-by-side comparison on these two things. So now I have them right next to each other, and we have the reproductions at the left and Kinner over here to the right. And there's a difference as far as I can see. Starting with the peg holes, there's none in the reproduction, but there is peg holes for the original Kinner one. So you will notice that there is no pre-holes or anything. You would have to do it yourself. Another thing I noticed is this right here, the coloring is a lot different than the original. It's more of a pink red compared to that orange look that the original one has, that Kenner made. So that actually stands out a lot whenever you have these sitting side by side, and you can tell by just looking at it. Let me back up the camera here, and you can definitely tell right there. Another thing is the flooring has a different color. It's definitely more dark on the reproduction compared to the Kinner. The Kinner has a lighter color to it. So another thing is I was looking at the back of this, and they do look different by all means, but what really caught my eye was the building right here to the left-hand side. It's kind of fatter on this side compared to this side over here. It is a little bit more thin. It's not really there. You can't even really see the building. And I think that definitely stands out a lot if you can tell by looking at these two side by side. It stands out a lot. Now, another thing, here is what they were talking about. This is the thickness of the cardboard here on the reproduction that we're looking at right now. And Kinner had this cardboard, which is a little bit more thinner. Actually, it's way more thinner than what we were looking at on the reproduction. So that's a side-by-side comparison right there. And as you can tell, the color is just brown like cardboard on the reproduction, which that's a giveaway for reproduction. As far as the original Kinner one, it is a white cardboard, but it looks more smooth, like it doesn't have that rough stuff. Now here is the stamping for the original one. It's located under the chamber where Han Solo goes into. And the floor looks a little different compared to the reproduction one as well. As you can see, the coloring and everything is different. There's no stamping at all. So it caught my eye immediately when I looked. I can just tell by looking at it. The hallway looks way different on the original compared to the reproduction one. I will back the camera up and let you guys see both because it definitely looks different. Look at that. That's crazy. I hope you guys enjoyed this review on the Reproduction Cloud City playset and the comparison next to the original Kinner Cloud City playset. If you guys want to find this playset, you can find it on eBay. I'll have everything in the description below our video. You can always like or subscribe to our channel. May the Force be with you, my Star Wars friends.